my greetings to the people of Nagaland and urge them to participate proactively in the forthcoming assembly elections in the state, truly in a mode of the festival, a festival of democracy. Friends, in last 2 days, the Commission has met with political parties. Every political party of the state we met first. Thereafter, representatives of the district officials, DCs, DMs and SPs, enforcement agencies, about which I will tell you later, and also the Chief Secretary and DGP. I will give a brief overview of the issues discussed with regard to the preparation of elections in the state of Nagaland. The term of the State Assembly is due to expire on 12th of March 2023. There are total 60 constituencies in the state, of which 59 are reserved for STs and 1 is general. The total electors in the state, male are 6,53,000 and female 6,56,035. Number of female voters is higher than the male. Total put together being 13,09,651. Friends, we have earmarked the voters who are 80 plus. This is our way of respecting the senior citizens of the state, and also pay respects to them that they have been participating in the election. We are all we are because of their contributions. So this is our regard to them. We have 36,403 voters who are 80 plus, and we salute them. We respect them, we pay our greetings to them further. Of these, you would be happy to know, there are 1,675 100 plus voters. And we have written, Commission has written to each one of them, paying our gratitudes that they have been participating and they have been the pillars of the society. Further, there are persons with disabilities. Our electoral rolls, we have now started marking the persons with disabilities as our voters, so that we can ensure, we can ask them, we can request them, we can touch base with them, we can have an outreach with them, that please come and vote with us. So these PWDs, I'll tell you how do we want to facilitate them. In the age group of 18 to 19, this is what is all about the electoral rolls, the profiles of the electoral rolls. There are 30,049 electors who are between the group of 18 to 19. And these are young voters. And I must tell you that we met some of the young voters, first time voters yesterday. And the Commission was very happy to meet all of them, the young fellows, the smart fellows, waiting enthusiastically to participate in the elections. And they were so enthusiastic, the young boys and girls whom we met yesterday. They said we will work as the ambassadors, we'll bring our friends also to the voting booth. So we are thankful to them. And total voters added during this SSR, which just got published on the 5th of January, is 44,736. In order to facilitate the young voters, the Commission has started one more exercise. One is entitled to become voter at the age of 18. What we have started is, if you are 17 plus, you can also apply in advance, so that there is no time lag when you become 18 in getting the voter ID card. What we do, so there are 989 new voters who are not voters yet, but 17 plus, who are prospective voters and have registered with us. And when they turn 18, we'll just be sending them a voter ID card with their registration and with their toolkit, welcoming them to as a voter of the country. We have voter list entirely given to the political parties as a process of our transparent system. The voter list has all been shared with the political parties. As you know, there are two stages at which we interact with the voters. One is when we make them voter, and secondly when they come to vote at the polling station. We want to also make their voting experience very happy in a true sense of festival. And How do we do it? I'll tell you after giving you an overview of the total number of polling stations, which are 2,315 in the state of Nagaland, with an average voters per polling station of 566. Predominantly polling stations are rural, 1,784. 10 polling stations would be managed by our persons with disability employees. This is a part of the empowerment. We truly believe that society needs to be giving them full empowerment, and this is what we are also making an effort as an institution to not only mark them in our electoral rolls, give them all facilitation for giving their vote, but also empower them by saying that you will be our presiding officers, polling officers, and you will manage the polling station. Similarly, there would be 196 polling stations which would be managed wholly by women, including the police force, everybody. This again is a statement we are giving all over the country. This is also women empowerment. At least 50%, but in this case 59% polling station, 1,650, would have a webcasting, so that they can be monitored during the polling time. Inside the polling station, there would be a webcasting done, so that the control rooms can keep looking at these polling stations. Some glimpses of the pollings, how we are planning to make them. These are on the left, 57 model polling stations. That's how they would look. Try and make some space in some of them for the children also, if mothers want to come with them. The women in command in 196 totally, and persons with disability who would be taking your votes, who would be greeting the voters at the polling stations. Further, all the polling stations we want to equip. We have directed our district officials to equip them with assured minimum facilities. What are those facilities? They will have a ramp, number one, for our PWD voters, so that there is no problem of access. So they are accessible polling stations. So our voter electoral roll is inclusive, polling stations are accessible. Then there would be a volunteer available for the persons with disabilities to help them. There would also be a wheelchair. Drinking water, 100%, waiting shed, toilet with water facility, and lighting. These are the minimum facilities which should be provided. We had a meeting just now before before meeting you, with the Chief Secretary and DG and other senior officers of the state, all the secretaries. They have assured us that this all would be in place by the time elections come. About the senior citizens which I mentioned, of these we are giving facilities. This would happen here in Nagaland, to permit them to vote from their home. Though, as I mentioned, there are 36,403 senior voters 80 plus. We encourage them to come to the polling station, because that's a festival for them as well. But in case they have a problem and they cannot come to the polling station, the commission will go to their home. The polling station will go to their home and fetch their votes. How? 5th day of the nomination. This we want to communicate to all of them through you. The 5th day onwards from the nomination, there would be a Form 12D available. They can apply, and if they apply, we will go to their house. What would we do? Number one, we will inform the political parties that you can send your candidate along with the team which is going to take the vote, so that nobody can accuse of the partisan behavior at the house of the senior citizen, a senior voter 80 plus. The secrecy of the vote will also be fully protected. The entire event would be videographed, so that while we go to the home, fetch the vote of the senior citizen 80 plus, but we also maintain full secrecy of the vote, and also maintain participation of the election representative of the candidates for a fair deal in the entire process. Similarly, we'll also extend this facility to the persons with disability. Same facility of filling up the Form 12D. In addition, those persons with disabilities who want to participate in the elections and come out to the polling booth, we would help them minimum by a wheelchair if they so want, a volunteer if they so require, a pick and drop facility from the dedicated party, and all this is available on an application, mobile based application called Saksham. Saksham means capable, empowered. So they can book all these facilities through use of the mobile application Saksham. All the friends, persons with disabilities can download this and book this facilitation in advance. Volunteers also we will organize at these places. Next, in case any voter does not have for any reason the voter I card, there are 12 other documents with the help of which he or she can come to the polling station and cast the votes. Aadhaar card, Mandira card, passport, UIDAI, smart card, driving license, PAN, Indian passport, pension document, or any other photo ID card issued by the central or the state government. So this is for facilitation. This is for ensuring that maximum persons feel at ease to come to these polling stations and vote. We are also going to the last mile. The glimpses of some of the polling stations. This Thanmiyar village is located exactly in the foothills of Mount Saramati, and it's the last stop. Similarly, the PS in Longwa village is so located, interesting, that the borderline passes from the house of the village chief. So this is also a polling station. So these are just the pictures we wanted to show you as to how much the election machinery works in the tough areas to go to the last mile and to fetch the votes. And that's the true spirit of the principles, ethos, and the festival of democracy. Friends, the entire election we want to make very ethical. Money, inducements of any kind, not to be there. We have directed all our DOs, SPs, DCs, paramilitary forces which are coming to be extremely vigilant. In any democracy, the ethical part is extremely important. Inducement of voters should not happen. For that, whatever the administration will do, which we have directed, we have also empowered our citizens to help us. How? That is through an application which is called the C-Vigil mobile application. It's a very interesting application. If we can popularize it with the help of our friends from the media. This is essentially means citizens, vigilant citizens. C, citizen, be vigilant. What they can do, they can take a photo of anything which they feel is wrong happening. There is a wrong campaigning happening. There is some distribution of money or liquor or drugs or anything happening. There is some official or authority not acting in a fair manner. Anything. Somebody is doing wrong campaigning. Somebody is defacing the property of somebody. Anything. They can just take a photo, load it and send it to us. If no photo, they can also type material and send it to this app. What does this app do? It takes the latitude and longitude of the person directly, automatically. So we come to know of the location from where the complaint has been made. And the nearest party, whichever is the nearest government party in terms of the sector magistrate or anyone, reaches there maximum within 100 minutes. And we respond. We respond to the complainant. We investigated, we found your complaint true, partially true, not true, and this is the action which has been taken. So this is a very important tool. This must give the society a chance to weed out any malpractices which happens. Let our children, let our youth be protected, and any malpractices every one of us must report to us and see that we are helped in curbing any misuse of money or power or anything. So I'm sure citizens of Nagaland would use this. There are other IT applications also. If one wants to know about the electoral rolls name, one wants to know about the polling station, there is a voter helpline app. You want to know who is your BLO, How do you connect to them? You want to check election results, you want to know the information on EVMs. All this is available on the application of the commission, which is known as Voter Helpline app. There are other apps also. The Suvidha portal is for the use of the political parties and candidates. They can apply for whatever facilitation they want from the district administration on the Suvidha portal. Suvidha against means the facilitation. Means they want to book a ground for rally, they want to book for transportation, they want to book for a campaign or anything. This is the app. And district administration has been directed to give this facilitation to political parties, to candidates on first in, first out basis. Not that they give it to somebody who is powerful or somebody who is in power. It is a level playing field. Whosoever applies first as a candidate has a right to get it first. The Saksham app I have already mentioned about PWDs. Friends, in the entire process of roll to poll, preparation of electoral rolls to the polling, we seek participation of the political parties, candidates at every stage of the election so that it is transparent and disclosures are made. There is nothing which is happening at the back of anybody. If the electoral roll is to be updated, they will get a photocopy, they will get a copy of the objections, it will be displayed on the website of the commission. If the FLC is happening for machines, commissioning, symbol loading, mock poll, storage, EVMs, anywhere, booth level agents, every stage polling candidate is authorized, empowered to send the representative along. All the places where the EVMs will be stored, they can keep their representatives. This will be under 24/7 CCTV camera. This will also have a 3-tier security. Inner security, inner ring of the CAPF, the next ring of the armed constabulary of the state, and third by the district police. So, and there also the agents of the political parties or the candidates can remain present if they want to, so that there is absolute transparency and disclosure in the entire process. Friends, elections needs to be very free, violence, and if any candidate has a criminal background, citizens, voters have a right to know about it. Therefore, this is the application which is known as Know Your Candidate. If any candidate has a criminal background, he or she must disclose it boldly in the local newspapers 3 times, also in the local news channels, as a disclosure that there are so many cases pending against me. This, not only this, the political party also has to disclose the name of the candidates who has a criminal background. And they also have to, in addition, tell the voters through publication 3 times that why they selected a person with a criminal background. Is it that they couldn't get anybody from the society who is of a background, who does not have a criminal background? These disclosures are made for the voters to assess for themselves and make an informed choice. They make a choice knowing that who has a criminal background, who does not have a criminal background. Similarly, we met all the enforcement agencies, state excise, GST, revenue intelligence, income tax, enforcement directorate, railways, narcotics, airport authority, all of them, Assam Rifles, forest department. For what? For telling them 2 things. There are 2 basic things. One is relating to the peaceful, fair conduct of elections without violence, without intimidation. This is one. And second is ethical elections without any inducement, any money power, drugs or alcohol. We have been very specific about the drugs because Narcotic Control Bureau, Excise, Police, CAPF, everyone we have told. Because drugs are such menace that it has a very long-lasting impact on the society. It disturbs the children, youth essentially. Once they get into this issue of drugs, it's very difficult to come out. So we have directed them that this should not be used, and especially during elections where we are in charge, should not be allowed to get into from anywhere near the borders, either interstate or international borders, which are which Nagaland districts have nearby. We have also asked all of them to act against identify the kingpins if there is a syndicate or there is a pattern in which here or nearby state or anywhere somebody is as a syndicate working for supply of drugs or supply of liquor to the state of Nagaland. Borders will have checkposts. All the border areas adjoining Assam, Myanmar, Arunachal will all have the checkposts manned 24/7, and all the major roads, arteries which are connecting the districts from the borders will also have checkposts and checkpoints where for these things, cash or drugs or liquor, there would be strict no tolerance policy, which we have emphasized to the state administration, all the district magistrates and all the enforcement agencies. So friends, we have also asked for your information, we have also asked the banks to keep a watch on the accounts from where some large amounts are being either deposited or withdrawn. This is the kind of suspicious transactions would be reported for whatever action it entails. Similarly, we have asked them to not allow their vans. They have the cash dispensing vans from the chest to one bank or from the chest to the refilling of the ATMs. We have asked them to not make these vans move from 5 o'clock in the evening to 9 o'clock in the morning. It is a possibility that those vans, in the garb of being distributing cash to the banks from one chest to another, be misused by some vested interest to carry cash. So we have banned them. They will not be on roads from 5 o'clock in the evening to 9 o'clock in the morning. And whenever they move, they will have a proper validation and documentation with them as to from which chest they are carrying money, for refilling it in which ATM. So that it's all well documented. And if they do not carry that kind of a indent with them, it would be presumed they are carrying wrongful cash. So friends, the entire effort of the commission is to, during these 2 days, had been to have detailed discussions with all agencies concerned, political parties, get the feedback, and do whatever it takes to ensure peaceful, fair, and inducement-free elections. And let us admit that press has always been our natural ally, has been always very, very helpful to us in 2 ways. That whatever you publish, whatever you post, you are our eyes and ears. We come to know of any malpractices if they are happening during the elections. And we also communicate through you. The entire C-Vigil which I am mentioning, PWDs, old days, 100 plus voters, inducement, drugs, all measures which we are communicating is only through you that it reaches every household for citizens to know about it, for voters to be vigilant and help us in curbing all these menaces. Again, with the help of you, through you, we want to request, appeal all the voters of Nagaland to please participate in the elections, young, men, women, rural, urban, all alike, and in a real festive mood. Proxy voting, consensus voting, booth capturing, all this. Consensus voting, it has already been clarified. Circular has also been issued by CEO office. All DOs have been directed. That in the political space, it is the right of everybody to contest elections. And that includes the marginalized or differentially vulnerable people. So consensus candidate is not a practice which is recognized in this. Therefore, there would be no validity to this in a democratic process. Proxy voting and any impersonification, the authorities have been very clearly instructed to be very alive to this and would not allow this at all. Ballot paper to EVM to ballot paper is a question which has been settled long time back. There is no way one is going back. One can't be retrograde in this in a technological age. And they are declaring results after results where this has been a settled issue. It has been in Supreme Court also. About related questions of abstentions from elections, which was asked from this side and this side also. See, the term of the assembly, as I mentioned, is ending in March. And Constitution clearly provides and mandates to the Commission that the elected government has to be in place before the end of the term of the assembly, the present assembly. If it doesn't happen, it poses different kind of problems who will be in power. So there cannot be a vacuum. Election Commission is mandated under Constitution to conduct elections, to declare results, so that the duly elected government is in place before the term of the assembly expires. And we are duty bound to do that. Number of companies would be sufficient, very sufficient, you are laughing, very sufficient to deal with the challenge and the situation. But we are sure that it will be a peaceful, we have been assured by the authorities and by all, and they will be optimally utilized. And in the utilization process, there would be an optimal deployment of these forces, not that it is lopsided on the basis of some. This would be across based on the requirement of, say, as I mentioned, the border areas to be checked, all that. So we will deliver the elections, whatever calls there are, and it doesn't affect the political process. About the one more thing which the first was asked, we recently had the Manipur elections also. So anybody who is registered as a voter in our electoral rules for a particular constituency has a right to vote, and he is facilitated by the system fully to cast his vote. And we will do that.